Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. South Africa's political stage has once again turned into a theatre of high drama, and this time, the script is being written by an unlikely coalition of opposition parties. The Democratic Alliance, the Economic Freedom Fighters, and the uMkhonto weSizwe party are reportedly joining forces in a daring push to impeach President Cyril Ramaphosa. Yes, you heard that correctly. Three parties that usually can't agree on whether the sky is blue now say they have a common enemy, and his name is Cyril. This latest move follows weeks of growing political tension, parliamentary standoffs, and increasing dissatisfaction with Ramaphosa's leadership. The opposition claims that he has failed to tackle the country's most pressing crises: sky-high unemployment, endemic corruption, collapsing state-owned enterprises, and of course, the never-ending power struggles within government institutions. In short, they're accusing him of failing the nation. Inside Parliament, sources say discussions are already in motion to table a motion of no confidence. If successful, this could open the door for impeachment proceedings. The DA, the EFF, and the MK party believe that the timing is perfect to hold Ramaphosa accountable for what they describe as weak leadership and betrayal of the people's trust. Now, let's break down where each party stands. The DA has long criticized Ramaphosa for being a weak president, someone unable to rein in corruption in the ANC and too indecisive to push through serious reforms. They point to rolling blackouts, failing municipalities, and rising crime as evidence of a government asleep at the wheel. The EFF, on the other hand, has never been shy to accuse Ramaphosa of protecting the interests of the wealthy elite at the expense of ordinary South Africans. And then comes the MK party, the new political home of Jacob Zuma's loyalists. For them, impeaching Ramaphosa is personal. They accuse him of undermining the legacy of the liberation struggle and betraying Zuma's vision. The irony is not lost here. The DA and the EFF have spent years insulting each other's policies, while the MK party has called both of them enemies of the liberation cause. Yet now, they're considering sitting around the same table to plot Ramaphosa's downfall. It's like watching a soap opera where sworn enemies suddenly discover they have a shared villain. If nothing else, South African politics never fails to entertain. But let's add some reality to the drama. Impeaching a sitting president is no easy task. According to the South African Constitution, you need a two-thirds majority in the National Assembly to remove a president. That means even if the DA, the EFF, and the MK party put aside their egos and vote together, they still fall short of the numbers. They'll need a significant chunk of ANC MPs to cross the floor and back the motion. Given how divided the ANC has become, some insiders say it's not impossible, but it's certainly not guaranteed either. Within the ANC, there are factions that continue to support Ramaphosa firmly. They argue that despite the challenges, he remains the best hope for stability and international credibility. But there are also whispers of growing discontent, especially among members frustrated by endless service delivery failures, the stubborn electricity crisis, and the perception that Ramaphosa is too cautious, too slow, and too protective of corrupt allies. Some ANC MPs may secretly welcome a chance to weaken him, but the question is whether they're brave enough to risk the party's unity in such a high-stakes move. Observers point out that this could be the most serious challenge to Ramaphosa's presidency since he came into power in 2018, promising to clean up corruption and rebuild South Africa's economy. Remember those early days when he was nicknamed Mr. New Dawn? Well, fast forward to today, and many South Africans joke that the dawn never really broke, it stayed dark, with load shedding to prove it. What makes this story even more fascinating is the strategic gamble the opposition is playing. For the DA, pushing impeachment allows them to present themselves as defenders of accountability. For the EFF, it's another opportunity to paint Ramaphosa as a puppet of capital and white monopoly interests. And for the MK party, it's all about revenge and reclaiming Zuma's political relevance. In other words, while they share a short-term goal, their long-term ambitions remain worlds apart. Imagine what cabinet meetings would look like if they ever had to govern together. One side would want privatization, another would want nationalization, and the third would want to take us back to 2009. Still, we can't underestimate the symbolism here. For three opposition parties that usually clash more than they cooperate, the fact that they are discussing a united impeachment front speaks volumes about how vulnerable Ramaphosa's position is becoming. Even if the motion fails, it could leave him weakened, exposed, and more reliant on fragile support within his own party. For the ANC, silence has been the chosen strategy so far. Publicly, they insist Ramaphosa enjoys strong backing. But privately, many insiders admit there are widening cracks. The ANC is under immense pressure to deliver results before the 2026 municipal elections, and another high-profile embarrassment could erode confidence even further. So, will this impeachment attempt succeed? The safe answer is probably not, at least not yet. The numbers in parliament still favor the ANC, and unless there is a major internal revolt, the opposition simply doesn't have the votes. But what this attempt does achieve is putting Ramaphosa under even greater pressure. It forces him to reckon with the fact that his opponents are sharpening their knives and that his own party is not as solid behind him as he would like. In many ways, the coming weeks will test Ramaphosa's political survival skills like never before. Will he reassert his authority and silence his critics, or will the opposition manage to turn their drama into a genuine crisis for his presidency? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, South African politics is about to serve us another round of theatre. And as we always say on this channel, South African politics is not for the faint-hearted. It's a mix of Shakespearean tragedy, reality TV, and comedy all rolled into one. Cyril Ramaphosa may still be sitting in the union buildings, but if this opposition coalition grows stronger, he'll soon find out that his seat is not nearly as secure as it looks. So, what do you think? Is this impeachment attempt just political theatre, or could it actually succeed in unseating the president? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you enjoy our deep dives into South African politics. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you next time.